What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Conversation Station. This episode, we're going to be talking about Peacemaker, the season, how it's going so far, as well as the expectations for the last two episodes. I'll talk about a few of the comics that I've been reading, and just anything else that comes to mind. Now, this second season of Peacemaker has been awesome. Completely action-packed and full of emotional scenes, just like the first season. The only gripe I can say with this season is I didn't love the Red Saint Wild character. I loved how much John Economos hated him, but I didn't necessarily love the character itself. When we actually got to see that he had some kind of metahuman ability, the ability to kind of astral project himself and find out where Eagly and Peacemaker is staying, that was kind of interesting and cool. But honestly, I felt like the character was just a little bit too goofy for the show. Even though I know this is a superhero show and they're running around in tight outfits and being silly, I just felt this one was just a little bit too far out, and him dying the way he did was just absolutely poetic and justified and deserved. My favorite part about that was really just the back and forth between him and John. That was probably the best. Also, the back and forth between John and Judo Master, that was absolutely epic after the battle that they had. John obviously feeling very proud of himself over his victory over Judo Master, and Judo Master still feeling a little bit salty. And he knows that he could easily kick John Economos' ass all up and down the street, but he got a lucky shot in. So, John is obviously going to hold that over him as long as he can. Now, one thing I love about this season is the focus on friendship, the focus on how much this group of people is really there for each other, and they try so hard even when nobody knows about it or when the other person is confused about what's going on. Like for instance, when Harcourt's helping Chris and saves his life from the cyborg, it's just they all still really care about each other even when things get really hard and it looks like they might go the other direction. And Harcourt obviously tells Chris later, how could you even think that? You should know me, you should know better, and you should have trusted me. And that's what friends do. That's what people who care about each other do. They give each other a chance, and they have to believe that they have your best interests at heart, even if in the moment you don't really understand what they're doing. And it's been really fun to see the season play with the whole will they, won't they. They obviously had a moment on some kind of boat between season 1 and season 2, so that was us catching up on the development of that relationship, and Harcourt obviously pushing him away because of the reasons that we've seen. And honestly, I love the way that they played with that. I love how the differences in dimensions and how it kind of is different, but it also is similar because Harcourt still does love Peacemaker in this in the original universe, as well as in Universe X. So she's trying to play it off to be not like this other version, but in some ways things are going to be similar. And one of those similarities is she does like or love Peacemaker, as well as having kind of a thing with Rick Flag Jr. In both universes. So some similarities are always going to be there, and it's just kind of one of those things I don't think she can really run away from. John Cena and Judo Master's fight is absolutely epic. I love to see how John Cena was just flipping him around him. It was insane. I bet you that was a fun day to shoot. Also, in the most recent episode, we finally get to see Vigilante suit up, and man, everybody was just kind of waiting for that. We finally get a glimpse into Vigilante's little underground cave, and it is just mind-blowing to see how absolutely psychotic Adrian really is. He has drugs, he has money, he has guns, he has everything that he's confiscated from drug houses and drug lords and kingpins and whoever you want to say, and he's stuffed it in his mom's basement, and he can't give it to the cops because they might be crooked and steal it, and he can't use it because it's blood money. Just absolutely insane logic, and just really a really awesome way to show how just committed his character is, how committed Vigilante is to justice and doing the right thing, even at the cost of his own wealth and just sanity. It's insane to keep all those drugs and everything in the house, especially with your mom, and he's not tempted. There's no vices, there's no, like I said, no temptation. It's insane. Obviously you see the team start shoveling money into their shirts and jackets and stuff like that, and hiding from him, obviously being there stealing straight from him. But it's just, really awesome to see that we get to that, look inside of Adrian's life, and to see everything that he has to deal with. This whole season, everybody was pretty sure that this was leading up to the other universe being Universe X. And with this new last episode, it obviously got confirmed, and everybody was super excited as well as terrified at the implications of what's going to happen. Judo Master did follow Peacemaker into the other universe, so to find out if he actually made it into that door or into a different door, that's going to be a big question. Obviously we know that everybody, the whole team, John Economos, Vigilante, and everybody went on over, and Ads went over as well, and it being Universe X and it being taking so long for Peacemaker to figure it out, as well as Adrian or anybody else, you just that pit in your stomach, it just hurts. It's something bad's coming because the universe, the expectation that universe is going to be completely evil, and so it's just waiting for that. Was the build up for that, for this entire last episode, was really suspenseful and was really scary, and just the dramaticness of the ending was so insane. I genuinely can't wait to get back to this world that they've built. I can't wait for tomorrow's episode, and I'm really excited for it. Personally, on the last episode, I want to kind of live stream my reaction from my phone, do like a Twitter live thing. That's what I'm hoping to do. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get it all set up, but for the very last episode, that's kind of my plan. Just log into my Twitter and I'll be live on there, just kind of reacting to it, and you can watch it with me and react or whatever, or just say hey. So I'd really appreciate that. I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do, just to kind of celebrate the last episode, because I really enjoy it. I don't really watch sports and things like that. I don't get excited about too many things like that, but this is one of those things that I probably will get excited about, and I probably will have a pretty big reaction to it. So I just want to have fun with it. But back to that big reveal where John Cena, Peacemaker, finally pulls, apart that flag and sees that it's the Nazi symbol on the American flag, and your heart just sinks as people are driving past ads and just looking at her, and everything's starting to add up, and Keith drives by real quick, and that look, and he delivers that insane line that everybody was expecting. Nobody was expecting exactly how, but you get that full confirmation of what that world is. And you see Adebayo's horrified, shocked reaction, and she runs, and just leading it all to me to show that, Peacemaker's definitely going to have to most likely kill his brother and father again, which, seeing if he's going to be able to do that and how he's going to have to handle that, is going to be something insane. I think it's going to be some of the grittiest TV we've seen in a long time, and I just think it's something that people definitely need to tune in for. This is going to be an event for sure. These last two episodes I feel like are just going to be 100% worth the watch, and just like I said, him having to deal with his brother and his dad, and the fallout from all this, as well as Vigilante meeting himself and figuring out that his other self hates Peacemaker, because he was just so sure that him and Peacemaker were best buds throughout every universe, because he's psychotic. He just thinks that that's probably a thing. And I just love seeing all his reactions, to everything, all the little differences in his universe. You're a chipmunk in my universe, I love that. I really loved all his observations and things like that. And I love that his other self immediately believed that he was from another dimension. Just right off the bat, no questions, just immediately believed him. And that just shows you certain things are the same, which is that he's completely psychotic in that world too. So that's really awesome. And then obviously he says that he joined the resistance group, and we get Vigilante learning about what the resistance group is. So hopefully by the next episode we get them really rushing to get the team together. Will we see Peacemaker fight his dad and brother in this next episode, or will they leave it for the end? Will Peacemaker be able to kill his brother and dad again? That is a big question as well, even though he obviously loves his friends, would never want to see him get hurt, and I think he would do anything to protect him. But just going through that trauma again, and hopefully his friends can be there for him if he does have to do that. It's just going to be insane. It's going to be a wild ride, and I think it's just going to be some really good TV. May I just say, Robert Patrick playing Augie Smith has just been absolutely fantastic. But I've enjoyed the show quite a lot. It's just been one of those things that helps the week go by a little bit faster. I got the peaceful hips emote on Fortnite just because I thought it was funny, and they ended up blocking it and banning it just because it had apparently ties to the new season, which just became a problem. Recently I seen that they reinstated it, so you'll be able to use the emote again, but I believe it's a different animation. It's not going to be the same as it was. So that's kind of funny. It's just kind of funny that they didn't really do their research on what they were putting into a kid's game. I thought that was kind of interesting that a company like Fortnite would, or Epic Games would upload something like that without really doing their homework first. Now, I've been reading just a few comics, mainly Superman and Batman, but the ones I was reading just the other day are Superman in Action Comics number 702, and this is Superman versus Bloodsport. Now, this version of Bloodsport is extremely racist, and it's just a big different. And it is extremely different from the Bloodsport we've seen in Suicide Squad. But there are a couple of different versions of him. Next, I was reading Superman Annual Bloodlines Outbreak, and it's number 5. This one's pretty cool. Basically, some aliens are eating people at a junkyard, and they end up eating somebody named Sasha Green, or eating from somebody named Sasha Green, and they make her into some kind of myriad, where she changes into a bunch of people. It activates her metagene. But the twist is that the person that they revived, this Sasha Green person, is somebody that Lex Luthor killed, murdered, actually. So her being alive again is a huge problem for him, and they're just trying to figure out how she's alive again. Really good book, really good story, and some really great artwork as well. And the last comic I've been reading, well, last comic I read today was Batman 466. This one sees Batman taking down a gang of thugs while a young Robin is actually talking somebody out of committing a horrible, horrible act. Really great story, and honestly really heavy for, you know, just a good old comic book, but it's really awesome and just amazing artwork all the way through. Of course, I mean, what else would it be in a Batman comic? Just fantastic. But yeah, like I said, I've just been on kind of like a Batman and Superman comic book kick. You know, it just seems fun. Superman movie came out, and I've been really enjoying watching it at home. I want to get the DVD, but I want to get like the special case and everything, so I'll have to order that online because it's not in any of the stores near me. Ever since the Superman movie became available to watch at home, my son always comes in the living room and he's like, "Oh, can you put on the real Superman?" And he means like live action, because I watch like a lot of animated Superman. So it's just funny that he comes in and, you know, can you put on the real Superman? And, you know, I put on the Superman movie for him, and he sits there and watches it while he wakes up. And it's just really awesome. You know, I love that the character is that special to him and that important to him, and I love that he enjoys it. You know, he wakes up on a Saturday morning, just puts it on and lays on the couch and watches it. So it's really cool. It's something that, you know, I know that we're going to be able to, you know, share a passion on as he gets older, and it's just something we're going to be able to bond over. And I'm looking forward to that, honestly. I will have some more reviews up soon. I definitely want to review One Battle After Another, the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I think it looks really good, honestly. I want to go see that as soon as I possibly can. I'm just kind of busy working everything like that. But as soon as I get a chance to see it and review it, I absolutely will. I think that movie's going to be fantastic, but don't know until I see it. I think that's going to be it for today. And thank you for any time you spent watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. One of my reviews, my Alien Earth review, is actually close to hitting 100 views, which would be my first video to do that. So I'm actually really excited about that, and I appreciate anybody that watched that video. If you spent any time watching any of my videos, just thank you. I mean, that's really cool. I really get excited when I see the views. And anybody who's commented or liked, I appreciate it, I really do. Please like and subscribe if you do enjoy these videos. Thank you, and I hope to see you again.